Incredible greetings, everyone. Incredible greetings. How's everyone doing? I am Shakia, the professor of HSINK365. We are the home of the honestly speaking brand of products, 365 Creative Academy, Silhouholics Anonymous, where I teach you to learn and master Silhouette Studio, which is going to be the foundation of today's session. We all know that in this creative business, or if you want to call it a crafting business, or if it's your hobby, if it's your side hustle, the number one thing that is going to set you apart are the designs that you have at your disposal for your clients. Whether you are creating it from scratch, if you are going to go and purchase a design, you have to resize it, make it fit. If you're creating DTF gang sheets and you have to know how to size it, if you're making for shirts and you want to know what size to make it for a large shirt, a small shirt, a toddler shirt, a onesie, the back of the shirt, a sleeve, these are all a part of designing and graphic designing and knowing how to set those things up. A lot of our frustrations in this industry of creating customized items and keepsakes and novelties is the design part, whether it is selecting the right font, finding the right backgrounds, knowing how to arrange them for them to have a cohesive look. Designing is paramount. It is key. It is what's going to set your business or your side hustle apart from someone else. Learning to design can also help you save some money. Who doesn't want to save some money especially if you're starting out, you're investing so much money into the machines and the blanks and the shirts and the this and the that. We often don't invest time in the most critical part, which is designing. So now it's time to invest in you, invest some time in you. You know that you have been saying, I need to learn this design software, or I want to create these types of designs. Man, I gotta learn how to design. I gotta learn Silhouette Studio. I gotta learn Photoshop. I gotta learn da 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 da. I gotta learn Affinity. If that has been you within the past month, even the past 3 months, then you are in the right place to get started and get motivated, people, to unlocking your creativity when it comes to this design game. Okay. You can save yourself some money by designing and setting up things like your business cards, or at least coming up with a concept. And then maybe a professional designer can really pull it all together. But at least you have an idea. If you wanted to make your own thank you cards, your own thank you stickers, if you are someone that has a thermal printer like a Rollo or the Dymo, you can create like your own little fragile stickers, thank you stickers to put on your boxes. You just have to know how to set that up in a design software. These are all types of questions that you are able to ask in our groups when I am live. If you have seen these things other places and you've wondered, how are they made? I am your girl that's going to answer for you. And when I do these sessions, I'm answering them for free 99. I'm not charging you anything to get this information from an industry expert, not someone who's starting out, not someone who's saying, hey, let's figure this out together. I'm just learning this. Look what I learned. And then, I understand we gravitate to them because we feel like, oh, they're just like me. If they can do it, I can do it. Well, if I can do it and I learn this and I can master this, I can teach you and I can help you. So do not hesitate to ask those questions if you've wondered how something is made. That's what these sessions are for. Okay. Now, what I need from you guys is I need for you to give this video a thumbs up. I need for you guys to hit that share button. I need for you guys just to say hello. So for everyone that's watching right now, I should see a hello from each and every one of you. I should see that many comments on each platform. All right. So that we can get this distributed. I did just come off of a live video, which sometimes if you go back to back, I know that help, that can kind of hurt distribution sometimes if you go back to back, but that's where you guys come in. Your comments, you liking the video, you hitting that share button, even if it's just to copy the link and or share it on your page and delete off your page later if you have to. But all of those things help. If you enjoy this content, you enjoy learning from the professor, then hey, show some digital love. All right. So incredible greetings. Hey, just say hello, hello, hello. So these sessions are always these type of sessions, they're really meant to be Q&A. I want to help you with the questions that you have. I want to help you if you have been in a group and you liked a post like, oh man, that's a really dope design, and you don't have a clue how that has been created. Now is the time to ask those questions. If you desire to be that type of designer and be able to create your own layouts and concepts, this is the time to ask those questions. All right. So we are going to hold on. All right. All right. So let me. Come over here. All right, who is going to post our first question? Who are we going to help first? So I just shared this in my Facebook group for my Silhouette Studio training, my Silhouette Studio 30-day course. So if you're watching from there, is there anything within the training, within the course that you have had questions on, you wanted a little bit of clarity on, you wish you were live so that you could have done that part, live with me? If that is you and you have those questions, feel free to go ahead and post those also. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. So we do have one here. I had an image of a motorcycle and it was taken at an angle. How do I adjust it so it doesn't look slanted on the tumbler? So it was a picture of like a real motorcycle. Was it like an illustration of it in SVG, or was it like someone's actual picture of a motorcycle? And then, man, it really depends on, like, when you say at an angle, what type of angle are you referring to? Some of those questions, this is where I need for you guys to join our Facebook group. Though these are questions that are great for the Facebook group because you can post that picture so that we can actually see it and then give you some direction on 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 how to accomplish the task that you are referring to. So a guy sent it to you. Okay, someone sent it to you, but it still doesn't let me know. Is it an illustration? Is it a photo? So is it when you say an image, is it a photograph of a motorcycle? Is it that it's slanted, meaning that it is leaning up against something and it's not forward facing, and part of it is facing like the back of the picture? That's what I'm meaning. Like, what type of image is it? Can you review, say, cropping a picture to a number? Sure. I'm just going to fill this in with a pattern. Okay. So if you have a number, you're going to type it out. So we'll just put a 3 for 365. You're going to make that whatever font you want it to be. And then you're going to place your image, whether it's a background or a picture. You're going to select it, go over to modify and crop, and it's going to crop it down into it. Now, whether or not you're going to be able to see all of the like parts of that picture, is determined by the letter or number that you select. If it has thin, if it's like a thin one, you're not going to see a lot of it. You can move it around, so you can go over to the advanced options and you can pan it, you can scale it, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to see all parts of it. If it was a number 4, you might be missing an eyeball, missing a forehead. How much you see depends on how thick or thin the letter or number or shape is. So you can go over here and go to your advanced options. You have the option to pan things around and move it around. Like if you want it to be able to see it, you can't move it over too much. You're going to start, in this case, you don't really see it repeat, but you will see like the end of a picture start to repeat itself. You cannot, there's nothing that I can teach you to force that image to look good or to be perfect in that letter or number if there's just not enough space for it to look perfect, if that makes sense. Okay, so I just went and just looked up motorcycle. So when you're saying slanted, meaning it's something like this, or is it like, I don't, is it that, trying to see something that, what would you like, what would it mean to be slanted? What is it, something like this? I'm trying to see. I mean, that's leaning. That's not really, do you mean like this? Also, are there limits like I can't do a group image? Yes, you cannot have something that is grouped and then crop it. So let's just say, all right, I'm going to just bring in. So if I had these two and they were grouped together and I send that to the back, I'm going to just make my 3 bigger here. And I select that and I go to crop it. Even if I have, let's say if I have this filled with no color and I go to crop it, it's not the 2, it's only the 1, and it's basically repeating itself. And then you end up with this line where they crossed over at. Even if you had, let's say, this, and we had, I'm going to do and internal offset. And I'm going to group those together. And I crop it. You see, it doesn't crop down into the 3 because that other element is there. Now, if I ungroup this and oh, wait, where's my 3? Hold on. Let's bring that back. Okay, there's my 3. I'm going to send this to the back. So here's my 3 here. So if I select this and I crop it, see, I'm just cropping it down to that square that's there. So if I take that square off and I crop it, then it goes down. So yes, you cannot do more than 2 elements at a time. Hello, I have business edition, but my line style icon looks different from another person's line style. During a tutorial I was watching, I was trying to remove the, wait, I need to wait on the rest of it. Okay, so I'm sorry, my bad. So I use 4.3.370. I'm not sure if you're using 4.4, 4.5, and there may be some glitches in those versions. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what my line style looks like, and then you can tell me if it looks different for you. So at the top, this is where your colors are for your line. This is the dash lines, or like the line style, you can make it dash lines. If you have a designer business, you have like these lines that it's like different shapes. And then this is where you would change the width of it or the weight of it. On this side, this is what it looks like. So you have your line style, you have style, which is the same as this one over here. You have the thickness, which is the same here. The line pattern is the same that is here. The only thing that's going to be different now is whether or not your corners are rounded, if they are square, if they are beveled, if you're in caps, like that's the only thing that's going to be, in which if I put weight on here, you're going to see rounded, you're going to see beveled, and you're going to see straight corners. So that's the only difference in that. Does your line style look different than this window? If it does, not really sure. I would need to see a picture of it to see how yours is set up. And also if you let me know what version you're using. Is it possible to save the group picture as a PNG and then use that pic? Yes, because then it will not be grouped. You are flattening it to where it is one image. Can you select the second? Oh, this is just colors. So this right here is nothing more than what you see up here. It's just that over here under advanced, you see the hex codes. But if you wanted no color, it's always the same. It's this hash box right here. That means no color. To book a one-on-one session with me, you would go over to our website. Go to search and type in help. And then the help sessions will come up to set up a Zoom session. There actually need to go on there and take it off right now. We're only doing 1 hour sessions. We're not doing longer sessions than that. We're only offering 1 hour sessions. So even if you book a 2 hour session, we will only be able to do 1 hour at a time, unless it is like the what is that thing called? Wait, shoot, I meant to go to view all results. So search, unless it's the business session, that's the only ones, or like if it's something that's like step by step and you know specifically what we are going to do, then those, so the step by step one is the only one that, depending on what the topic is, but like just to go over Silhouette Studio, we only do those in 1 hour bursts. But I highly recommend before you do a one-on-one session that you enroll in the 30-day training and actually go through it. A lot of questions are answered within that 30-day training on how to utilize Silhouette Studio. Now, the one-on-one can be helpful because if you are using a different version than I am using, I am able to see your screen. All of our sessions are held via Zoom. You will be able to hit share screen and I can see your screen and then help you work through like navigating your version of it and identify anything that might be missing from your version of Silhouette Studio. Okay. Can I show how to do rhinestones? Sure. So when it comes to rhinestone designs, something like this with all these colors, you will not, of course, be able to do that as a rhinestone design. When it comes to rhinestones, it must be a vector, meaning it is a path of some sort so that the stones can follow that line. So if I have just a shape, if I have, even with this number 3, if I put stones in it, it's just going to kind of take on those colors. So you're just going to come over here, and yours might be where you can see the whole entire thing. My icons are large, so I have a flyout, but this right here is your rhinestone tool. And if you just hit, oops, so we're going to go here, we're going to hit and the number of stones changes depending on the size of something. Okay. So you saw like here, it's only a few. Whereas if I make it larger, it's a whole lot of stones. So the size of the hole doesn't get bigger. The number of stones changes as it gets bigger. Same thing with this one. If I were to fill this in like this, it is simply going to give me circles. Now, visually, this looks great, but of course, once you go in and put in individual colors of stones, you're just going to see one solid color. So you just hit that. And this is if you want the outline, if you want it to be a radial fill. Now, if you're trying to do something that is layered, you have an SVG, it's a face of a woman, and she has on an afro, and you want all of that. If it is a JPEG that you have to trace it first, and then you'll be able to select the rhinestone tools to fill it in. Areas like their eyes and stuff like that may have to be a smaller stone size than the rest of it. That's where releasing compound path will come into play so that you can isolate the eyes, the nose, the lips, and be able to apply the appropriate size stone for that. If it's something where you want the entire face filled in, but you also want the eyes to be stones, you're going to have to modify, because that's when you'll have to do like, you'll have to maybe do an internal offset or an external offset so that it gives the stones more space. Because if not, they're going to overlap in Silhouette Studio. Programs like the Rhinestone World has a feature where it will eliminate overlapping stones, but not Silhouette Studio. But at its core, you start with some sort of vector file, whether you are typing it out, you are creating the shapes yourself, or you are tracing it and then you simply apply the rhinestone function. It must be in the size that you want it to be. If you are wanting to have a rhinestone, if I wanted this like this 3 as a rhinestone template, and I'm putting it on shirts from a 2T to a 2X, I need to have different templates for each one, because for 3-inch, if I come and take this down to, let's say, 5 inches, okay, and I put it like that. But if I end up doing this, and now, well, that was at only like 3 inches, so let's go around 5 inches. If I go and make this 10 inches, the number of stones and how they fit in that particular design changes depending on the size of it. What the heck? If you did not set it up in Silhouette Studio and you don't have that raw file, and let's say it is just an SVG, or you have, like, let's say if I release the stones on this, if I save it as an SVG and you try and like resize it, it affects it. And if you try to resize it and want it, like, let's say you want it to be like it has a lot of little stones in it, but you're taking it back down to 3 inches or 5 inches, you are changing the size of the circle. Now your stones won't brush in. So that is really important to know when you're doing stones, is to size it up first, then apply your rhinestone settings. And see, this is a lot to release, so it's going to take a little minute. It might even shut down because it's trying to process how many? 3,000 stones. So with 10 SS stones at 11.398 by 14.109, that's over 3,000 stones, 3,806 stones. So see there, all 3,000 stones are still there, but now they're closer together and the circles are not going to be the same. So once they're released, you cannot just shrink it down that way. You have to have a template in the size that you want. Earlier today, we did, like in my live before this, we did the Barbie. So this is a great representation of like having overlapping stones, because if I wanted all of this set up with stones in it, I'm going to use 6SS. Oh, I meant to take off the shadow. Oh, wait. All right, so if I were to take this and go stones and fill that in, then I were to fill this in, it's not going to look like much of nothing. And that's at what, like 5. So even if I make this bigger, you're going to have overlapping stones. So this is another one of those cases where, depending on how you have it set up, makes a very big difference. It would be not that one. It would be this style. That would probably be the better setup for this type of stonework. However, you're still going to have some overlap because they're right next to each other. So if I were to apply stones to this as a linear fill, I still will have some overlap of white and pink stones. So this would be a situation where you either need to do an internal offset on one or the other element so that it comes, they don't overlap, basically. All right. Anyone else have any questions? If you are just jumping on, this is Wednesday. It's my day where I do a lot of live videos. I wanted to do a sublimation demonstration, but I'm not sure. I feel like I'm shirted out. I don't really know what I feel like. I've done so many things on live videos. I don't know who's seen what. So if you guys have a suggestion for something that you want to see sublimated, I just did tumblers yesterday. We can do a sublimation demo. Wednesday is one of my day where I do a lot of live demos. This one, of course, is a Q&A on designing to help you with your business or your side hustle. If you have a question, feel free to go ahead and post it. It doesn't have to necessarily be a straight up silhouette question or a question about designing for a shirt. If it's something that you need for your business and you're inquiring about that, you can ask those questions if you're just lost on what to do. Here is your opportunity to ask an industry expert. So I'm going to give you guys a minute to type out your questions. If we don't have a question on the floor, I'm not going to pressure you. I'm not going to force you to ask a question. We'll go ahead and have a quick 30-minute session for this particular live video, okay? For this live broadcast. So you are more than welcome to post your questions. I am genuinely here to help. Where you need help at for designing for your business or your side hustle. All righty. Since we have no questions on the floor, we're going to go ahead and end this live broadcast. Thank you guys so very much for joining. Hopefully, the questions that were asked in regards to cropping and rhinestones, as well as the line colors and the line tool, there we go, were helpful and beneficial for you. Don't forget to visit our website, shop.hsink365.com. Oops, wait, wrong one. Oh, wait a minute. Where'd it go? There we go. Shop.hsink365.com. That is where you're going to find all of our sublimation products, such as paper and ink. We also have accessories like your extra cartridges, HSINK digital files. We do have some templates and things like that on our site. You can go and search Template Vault and you can get access to a wide variety of templates that I have over in the vault. Ooh, we have all of our classes over here under 365 Creative Academy classes and playbacks, or just go to, there's also one that says Academy courses. So you can check all that out. Check out our reviews. Don't forget to leave a review, by the way. Our heat tape and so much more over on shop.hsink365.com. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.